نحمد ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us learn Tajweed and help us beautify our Quran recitation inshallah. So in today's session we raise our hands and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, oh Allah, help us see right as right and give us the ability to follow it, give us the ability to apply all our knowledge, and you, oh Allah, help us see wrong as wrong and give us the ability to avoid it. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So let's say this together. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ahu wa arina al-batila batilan warzuqna ijtinabah. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah, in our last setting, we learned about the alifat al-saba, the 7 alifat. In case you missed it, you can look at the previous video and you can find the details about the 7 alifat and their application laws. Today, we are going to talk about Hamzatul Wasl and the rules regarding that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. So Allah has made this Quran easy for remembrance. So is there anybody who wants to pay attention? So Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we say labbaik. Yes, we would like to pay attention. We would like to reflect. We would like to remember this. And we would like to recite this Quran the way it should be recited. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us that we understand this topic very, very well. So even before we go and start understanding what is Hamzatul Wasl, let's take a quick look and see what is a Hamza. And even before we talk about a Hamza, let's talk about this straight line which is known as an alif. So we learned in our previous setting also that alif is never in the beginning of a word. It's never alone except in alif lam mim, which are the haruf muqattiyat. It is usually a long vowel and it never takes any harakah or movement on top of it. So when you will see an alif, just like you see over here, it will always come, let me see if I can highlight it and show you, it will always come as a standalone entity. There's going to be no movement on top of it. Okay, so you see it just as a standalone entity. All right, on the other hand, an alif with the harakah on top, on the bottom, that basically makes it a hamza, and it can occur in any part of the word. It can be in the beginning, it can be in the middle, it can be in the end, and sometimes it comes with a chair. So you see this vowel with this hamzatul qata, like an ayn kind of a shape. So it can even come in this shape as well, right? And it can be sitting on top of a chair, like a ya chair or a waw chair. So you don't confuse that as waw or ya, but you know that this is hamza and you pronounce it like that. So like for example here, you're going to say it akala, ra'a, ja'a. So this one here is an alif, but here is a hamza. So it's easier for you to tell these apart, inshallah. What is like how do you pronounce a normal hamza? So you see the movement, what is on top of it. Like for example here, what is the movement? Very good, this is a fathah, so you will call it hamza fatha'a here. Excellent. Hamza kasrah I, and here hamza dhamma'u u, and here you don't see the alif underneath, but it's the same sound a. And here it's the same sound as u, although you see this hamza on a waw chair. So you're not going to pronounce it as waw, but you're going to call this hamza. Now if hamza takes a sakin on it, then you say it a little quickly, and sometimes you say it with a jerk sound. So for example, in the word iqra, shi'tum, and mu'sada, so that's how we usually pronounce it. So one thing is for sure, that if you are stopping, and then if you are starting with Hamzatul Wasl, you need to pronounce it. So we come to that agreement. And if we skip it, if you're continuing with the preceding word. So if you're continually reading the Quran, that you mashallah usually do, and you don't need to know what harakah you're going to put. But in case you stop there and you have to start with the Hamzatul Wasl, now we need to know that knowledge as to what do I need. So yes, now you need to make that decision. So now you are at this decision point and you need to figure out, what do I do now? I need to start from this. So do I put like a fathah now? Do I put like a dhamma on it, or do I put like a kasra on it? So what should I do now? And that's where you need that knowledge, right? So alhamdulillah, in a very simple terms, if the word after the Hamzatul Wasl, the second letter after the Hamzatul Wasl is a lam, like an al, so it's like that element, then you're always going to put a fathah. It's so simple. If that is not the case, if you have a Hamzatul Wasl, the second letter is not a lam, it's some other letter like an X letter, and the third letter, we will call it a Y here. I'm trying to write it for you. If that is a Y and that has a Dammah on it, then you go ahead and you put a Dammah on the letter. I'm going to show you examples very soon. But in all other situations, you just go ahead and put a Kasrah. There are only 5 exceptions to this rule number 2, in which you see a third letter with a Dammah, but you're still going to put a Kasrah there. So those are those 5 exceptions which will fall right here. Those 5 exceptions will have a Kasrah on it, okay? And they will not be part of the Dammah group, inshallah, and we will see them how. So go ahead, grab your notes and write this in the written form. A recap. If you are not pronouncing the Hamzatul Wasl, you're just skipping it, then no need to worry. You just keep going and you just pronounce like wadkhul. So this Hamzatul Wasl is just silent if you are continuing. You're not stopping here. But in case you stop here, then I'm going to see my second letter and I'm going to pronounce this as udkhul, udkhul. So why? Because my third letter was a Dammah and it's not an exception letter. I'll tell you the exceptions later. So let's write this 3 conditions in a writing form. If I need to start from Hamzatul Wasl, then a temporary harakah is placed on that Hamza. Okay, and that temporary place is going to be a Fathah if my second letter is going to be a Lam Sakin. Okay, so let's draw this in a nice way. I'm trying to grab the marker for you. So let's see. Let's grab a highlighter. I come here and I see that my second letter is a Lam. Then I go ahead and I put a Fathah. Okay, and I pronounce this al-furqaan, al-ladheena. Okay, now if my second letter is not a lam, then I check my third letter. If my third letter has a Dammah on it, then I'm going to put a Dammah on my letter, and I said that there are going to be 5 exceptions, right? And just keep space for those 5 words, and we're going to tell you those words very soon. In all other situations, whether there is a kasrah or whether there is a fathah, you're always going to put a kasrah in your Hamzatul Wasl. So for example, this situation, you're going to say i'malu, irji. Now there are other ways people explain Hamzatul Wasl in terms of nouns and verbs. A noun will always take a kasrah and verbs, but this is something very easy. If you remember these rules as 1, 2, and 3, then it's very easy to remember, to apply. So number 1, if you see that the second letter is a lam, then you go ahead and you just put a fathah on it. If you see the third letter is a Dammah and it's not an exception, then you go ahead and you do a Dammah on it. 5 exceptions to this. And number 3, everything else is just a kasrah. So let's see those 5 exceptions to the second rule, and those words are right here. I'll give you some time to write them. Type 1 if you're done writing, so I know that you have those exceptions written out. And meanwhile, let me see if I can highlight this concept again for you, that based on my second rule, I saw, okay, let's see. So the first word, let me grab a highlighter. So this one right here, the third letter, I noticed it has a Dammah. So as per the second rule, I should have said Hamza should take a Dammah on it. But this is my exception letter. So I'm going to read it as ittaqu, ittaqu. Here again, I have a Dammah, but I'm going to read this iqdu. Here also, I have a Dammah on the third letter, but I'm going to read it itu. And ituni, this comes like itu and ituni, both of them, okay? And ibnu also, you're going to read it with a kasrah, and imshu. So all these 5 have a dhamma on the third letter, but you're going to read them with a kasrah. If this is clear, go ahead and type yes. Yes, that tells me yes. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah. So is it easy? Alhamdulillah. So here are some examples for you. Go ahead and find the Hamzatul Wasl and tell me what and how you're going to read it. So yes, Rahnuma, why are you putting this as a Fathah? Okay. Yeah, no, the third rule is telling me that if I have a third letter as a Fathah or a Kasrah, I'm always going to put a Kasrah here. Okay, so it's not, if this is a Fathah, I'm not going to put a Fathah. I'm always going to put a Kasrah on that. Excellent. Now here, this is Dammah on Ta. So very good. You're going to put like a Dammah here. So udhkuruu, udkhuluu. Here, what do you think I should do here? The third letter is a Dammah. Excellent. Urqud. This one. Idhab. How about this one? The Jim has a kasra. That is correct. Yes. No, but you're not going to put a kasra because Jim has a kasra. You're going to look at the second letter here, and that's a lam sakin. So what are you going to do? You're going to say al-jibal. Al-jibal. So don't forget the rule number 1. You first thing you scan is the second letter in case it's a lam sakin, like here also in al-awwal, here also al-fasl, and right here al-buruj. All these will be simply and very easily with a fathah. Okay, now this one by the kasra. So what do you say? Ihbitu, irjalu, right? And this one is Dhamma, so you're going to say usjudu, if'alu, ihdina, and ishqat, right? So alhamdulillah, mashallah, tabarakallah, you did amazing, and the more you practice, the more it becomes easier and easier. And don't forget that there's tremendous benefits of reciting the Quran correctly, and it's not only a duty, it's a fard on us, and it will be a proof for us on the day of judgment. The Quran will intercede for us on the day of judgment, and not only your status in this life will be raised, but in the hereafter also tremendous benefits. And khayrukum man ta'allama al-Qur'ana wa 'allamahu. And every letter that you recite has 10 or more rewards for it. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to recite this Quran in the best of the ways. May Allah accept from all of us. Innaka antas samiul alim. Indeed, you are the all hearer, the all knower. Jazakallah khairan kaseera for being here. Stay happy and spread happiness. Remember, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Indeed, mankind is in loss except for those who believed, who did the righteous deeds, who reminded each other of haqq and who reminded each other of sabr. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us open our mushaf, see lots and lots of examples and apply them, inshallah, and be very, very familiar with Hamzatul Wasl and how we are going to say them in case we start from the word which has a Hamzatul Wasl in the beginning. So subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. We are going to stop here, but I will stay in the room for any questions, or if anybody still has any concern, then we can work together and get those examples resolved. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.